Greetings! Today we're going to go over partners, otherwise known as weapons, wheels, whatever game you come from. You know what they are. They're equipment or people in this game you put on your units. There are 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star partners. And I made a spreadsheet showing all the partners and my opinions on the dragon partners, which are the only 5 stars you should get. Now, first off, before I go in depth on every partner, every category, I'm going to go over what categories there are. There are 6 categories in game with little rhyme or reason. You think they have rhyme or reason? They don't. There's too many categories, in my opinion. But there are Ranger, Hunter, Striker, Controller, Psionic, Vanguard. Those are the 6 partner types. And they match up with the respective unit type. So, it does not matter with their color, it's just their role that the developers intended. But you can equip a partner on a unit not of the same role. You just won't get the additional effect. Now, every partner has this additional effect that only triggers if you put them with a unit of the same role as them. So this effect only triggers if you equip it on a hunter. But you can put partners on any unit to use their ego skill. If you value their ego skill very highly, some players would want to just fuck the additional effect and just care about the ego skill. If the ego skill was really good, or the stat line. So when you get dupes of partners, what happens when you get dupes? Well, dupes of partners buff this effect right here up to double. You get the base unit plus 4 copies equals 5 copies total to max out a partner dupe. That is how the stat system works. I'll show you in a bit. So this is a fully duped out Yvonne. She gains you 16 defense and 60% healing at end of turn. Now, a 0 dupe Yvonne is half that. That goes the same for every partner in the game. So the additional effect is doubled at max dupe value. In addition, leveling up a partner gives them increased stats based on this. If it's an attack unit partner, it gives you attack and health. If it's a support partner, typically it's defense and health as you level up a partner. Now, going into the video, do I recommend pulling on partner banner? Hell no. Hell fucking no. It's better to use your pool earlier to pull on combatants because you want a wider roster. Why? Because endgame, hyperspace basin, and other endgame content requires you to field multiple teams. You want more units to field more teams that synergize as well as dupes on existing units, rather than partners. And partners, if you guys played any gacha games, are normally one of the first things to get power crept in general. Partners are easily power crept compared to units. Because unlike units, partners are more basic, and eventually, once there is a new partner, players are going to eventually discover a unintended side effect with a synergy with one they don't want to be in. So we're going to discover eventually, that happens in every game, a new partner's going to release, the developer's going to design it for the new limited unit, and we're going to find out it's completely broken on one of the older units because the devs forgot about the older units. This happens in every video game. Every MMO, the devs make a new patch, make a new piece of loot, make a new piece of gear, and we're going to find it's broken on an older character. That's probably what's going to happen in this game. So I would not recommend pulling on partners unless your unit desperately need their partner. But to make a fair comparison, I'm going to go over every partner on the list and rate them and talk about the Dragon Battle Pass partners. Now, the Battle Pass is the only source I would recommend getting the 5-star partners from. So these are the dragons. They're not demons. Don't disrespect their culture. These are what dragons look like. These are what dragons wear. If you think this is Gunnar, then you clearly have not met a dragon IRL. These are what dragons look like. This is their culture, okay? Respect their culture. They don't want to dress like this, probably. It's probably part of their heritage or something. So, every battle pass, you get to pick one partner when you reach level 30 on the battle pass. This is the only recommended source I recommend you get partners from. I'm going to go over all of them one by one as I'm going over each thing, which partners you should get. Because some of these dragons are extremely powerful compared to the regular partners for your 5-star or 4-star units. So, we're going to start off by going over the first category, Ranger. These are basically DPS. So let's go back into the game. We're going to sort by Ranger. I'm going to go over them. I researched all the things before the video, so to make sure I'm doing so. Remember, Ranger units and Ranger partners. So we're going to sort. These are the current Ranger partners from the 3-star to the 5-star. If you don't pull on the partner banners, you're only going to get these 3 units. These are only partners. These are 5 stars. So, Rangers are Hugo, Veronica, Selena, Beryl. Hugo and Veronica are the only 2 5-star Rangers. And Hugo, in many people's opinion, is better than Veronica. However, Veronica synergizes well with her partner and the dragon partner. Now let's go over the basic 3-star partner everyone probably has. This is a very good 3-star partner compared to some of the later 3-star partners we'll introduce, because it's a percent damage attack bonus that is 16% if you have the dupes. You'll have max dupes. And this, when an ally defeats enemy, gain backline support. This is very good. It goes pretty hard. And this ego skill is a 2 cost, 200% damage. It's not that bad. But both 4-star partners are better than it, because this increases the additional attack effect, which is Hugo and Veronica's main bread and butter. Now, these 2 units, extremely good. They're the same unit. They're exactly the same. You ignore this portion. The bottom portion, when the Ascend kind of combatant use an upgrade or a skill card, 25% gain morale for 1 turn. It goes up to 50%. Remember, max dupe. This is doubled. Every stat you see here is doubled at max dupe. This, 40%. If you play any card game, this might as well be 0%. If you encounter a situation where you need to trigger the 1 morale for 1 turn effect, you've already lost. If you rely on this, you've already lost. So don't even think about it. It's something nice to have. It's not something you prioritize. What you care about between these 2 4-star partners is the ego skill. The ego skill on both of these units are insanely good. Why? Because this is guaranteed morale, guaranteed shield, 2 costs. Very cheap and easy to use per battle, especially in chaos mode. This is draw a card. Drawing card is very good in most games, because sometimes your hand's going to be empty. You put which 4-star partner depending on what you feel your deck needs. So if you're running a team without that many draw, and you have enough mana to continue and want to unbrick your hand, this goes hard. Very hard. For situational. If your team needs the morale, because you ignored this 180% shield, because generally speaking, you're not going to pop this over a weakness or a fortify or any of the other defense effects. So you're only going to run this for the morale, basically. So Rosaria is much better than Daisy. However, that's where the dragon comes in. The fucking dragon unit. Again, this is Hugo's 5-star partner. This is Veronica's 5-star partner. They are both decent, but the dragon shits on them. The dragon shits on them all day, every day. Giant dragon dumps all over them. You know why? It is flat damage buff. Let me just go down to my spreadsheet real quick. So I rated each dragon on pool priorities and how you prioritize it. So if you have Hugo or Veronica, this is, you get this if you want to use Hugo or Veronica. It is lower value because the reason why it's lower value than some of the other dragons, in my opinion, is it's extremely strong, but so are the 4-star options you probably have. The 4-star options are really good. This is better. This is way better, but you only get one dragon a month. So, in general, you probably want some of the other dragons, unless you really want to make your Hugo or Veronica a god killer, which Solia does. Why? This is a flat extra damage buff. This is huge. This is 40. If you have max dupe, you're not going to get max dupe until like 5 months in the game if you go on it. And this effect down here is so easy to proc. This is 20% with max dupe. So, when the assigned combatant draws for the first time each turn using the ability, you get a damage buff. And this is a 3-cost 250% mark. The ego skill is nothing to write home about. It's pretty basic. I don't like it. But the flat damage buff is quite large when you consider that both Veronica and Hugo already have decent percent values on their extra attacks. Like this, already 150% extra attack. So a 20% extra attack is going to be 107% extra attack. That's how the percentages work in this game. So the flat value number is better than percent attack, especially on Hugo more so than Veronica. Why on Hugo more so on Veronica? Is because he has more commence the hunt triggers. On a good Hugo team, you're going to proc more extra attacks than a Veronica team. Veronica does have that auto trigger every turn, but Hugo procs more consistently, and his Dingo Howling with certain affinities draws more cards, like draws a lot of cards, and gets you more commence the hunts. So Cinderace is better on him. Cinderace is on both units. Very good dragon. It's an insanely powerful dragon on Hugo and then Veronica. Hugo top priority. But we're going to go over why the other dragons, if you have other units, are generally better choices for the first month, unless you really, really like Hugo and Veronica. So let's go to the next category. We're going to go over the next tier of units, the fucking Hunters. Now, Hunters, pressure attack, yeah, you know what it is. There's just another form of DPS. There are too many fucking, categories in this game. It disincentivizes team building. If I were a game developer, I think having this many category is bad for the game's health, because that means you cannot trigger the bonuses on more units. By having more categories, you're giving less player agency. Why not just simplify it and merge some of the DPS together so that you can use supports on more units for more build diversity among the player base? Like, there is no reason why I can't have this effect on a DPS that's not a hunter. This is a bare bone basic DPS. Why can't I get this additional effect on, let's say, Rin? Rin can work with this. So developers, by creating this many categories, limits player diversity, and I'm pretty, disappointed in that. Creating this many categories is just for no fucking reason. They create this many categories for no fucking reason, okay? For the DPS. Put all the DPS in one column. DPS, healer, shielder. That's it. Simple. So, these are the 3 hunter characters. Now, the basic hunter character is decent because it is flat attack damage value and shuffle buff. Shuffle buff and a draw 2. It's a pretty decent 3-star, but now let's look at the 4 stars. The 4 stars, very good, very good. The rabbit is probably my choice of the better of the two because her effects are percent damage and it is easier to proc. Whereas this lands hard, but this only triggers after a crit hit, and early game, your crit rate is not going to be that high necessarily. Like late game, you're going to get a lot of crit rate from your memory fragments, from other sources of gear in the game and the substats. Early game, this might as well say, when you pray hard enough, your bullet card does damage early game to mid game. Until you reach end game, you ignore this portion. If you're gonna ignore this portion, just use the carrot bunny. Now this is pretty good. Crit chance up 25%. Again, if you start with 3% plus 25%, it might as well read praying is slightly easier now. Praying might work with that low crit rate early game. So this is more consistent. If you're relying on critting to beat bosses or stages early game, then you're probably already dead. At least Character provides more consistent damage sources, so you don't have to rely on the RNG of a crit with that low crit rate. Now, let's go over Janet. Decent. Its crit rate is very good, right? It's conditional too. If it costs 1 or less, you get 9% crit rate, 18%. That's great. What's Kiera? You have 10 or more cards? Oh, damage. That's great. Oh, these two are great, right? This is unconditional crit chance. This is up to 16% unconditional crit chance. And when you crit, you get 3% crit damage, stacking up to 5 times. That's 15 or 30%. And this is a 250% damage and vuln ego skill. So, if I were given an option, I would put a bullet in Janet's head outside of a McDonald's while I'm eating a Big Mac. I'll put a bullet in both of these characters' head. This girl is broken. This is unconditional crit chance. You don't need to pray. You don't need to ego skill. You don't need to do shit. This is unconditional crit chance buff. And crit chance is amazing. So, this is extremely high value dragon. As I put down here. Extremely high value dragon. It's probably the best dragon pick if you have any hunter characters. Meaning Rinoa or Luke. Because, sure the bullet damage goes hard. Sure. But this is a source of crit chance and crit damage. And those of you who have played any video game knows that the devs love their crit buffs. Love their crit chance. So she's probably the best dragon if you have a hunter character. Just because of this crit chance. This is amazing. Unconditional. Janet is conditional. Janet is like, I will stay with you only if you have 1 or 0 cost cards. I will give you the crit chance only if you have 1 or 0 cost cards. This fucking lolly dragon, you're like, I'm with you regardless if you have a 500 mana card or a 0 mana card. This is a ride or die lolly dragon with crit chance. Janet is selfish. Why can't Janet give me crit chance on the 2 cost card? Why are you holding out, Janet? Give me the crit chance. Hand it the fuck over. Pull over. Give me the crit chance now. Drop your stuff. Give me the crit chance. I want it now. I don't want it on the 0 or 1 cost cards. It's like going on a date and your date is going like, hey, I'm fine with watching any movie. As long as it's PG-13 or PG. What if I want to watch Deadpool? What if I want to watch a good R-rated movie with you? Are you limiting my options on the date? Why are you doing this? Why are you so high maintenance? I don't want to watch this PG-13 movie. I want to watch Deadpool. Let me watch Deadpool. Fuck you. That is basically what Janet is saying. Janet is so selfish. Janet is the most selfish partner in the game. She only gives you crit chance on 1 or 0 cost cards. I'm not fine with that. Fuck you, Janet. I'm gonna stick with Serifia. So, that concludes this segment. Now, the next hunter we're gonna talk about. What's next on the list? Scroll up. Striker. Striker units. There are a lot of striker units. You know how I feel about the design, especially Scarlet, otherwise known as the girl with the nooses. So, let's go to Striker, Sort. Striker, Source. Combatants. Boom, Striker, Sort. So, these are the 4 Striker units. It is extremely low priority unless you're a Meiliner. I'm going to tell you right now, unless you're a Meiliner, you ignore the dragon. If you play Meilin, you get her dragon. Her dragon is broken on her because her regular 5-star partner is dog shit compared to the dragon. Now, the problem with this is that Haru is a limited unit, and her limited partner goes better with her than all the other options. But I don't recommend pulling on Haru or anything. I say limited pulls. So Haru is not going to be in an equation. If you have Haru, you're already going to pull for a partner, which is this, because of the pulverized cards. You're already going to pull for Asteria if you have Haru. Now let's go over the 3-star. This is pretty good first turn. Pretty bad, actually. It's pretty bad, actually, the attack, but all of them gives you attack. Every one of the strikers give you attack. In this, damage dealt, start a battle for 1 turn. Yeah, this bear is also selfish, just like Janet, except for he's a 3-star, so he has a reason to be selfish. Janet is a 5-star partner, and she's extremely selfish. I understand why Douglas is selfish. Douglas only gives you the damage dealt for 1 turn because he's a poor 3-star unit. He's living from dumpster to dumpster. Okay? Janet is like that rich girl with rich parents who won't offer to chip in when you go to restaurants or you go to movies and won't let you watch Deadpool. So, Douglas, pretty decent start, but both 4-star partners in the striker category are decent. Very decent. This, 2 costs, easy to trigger for the partner she's assigned to, but I rate Lillian a lot higher because you have more striker units with 1 or less cards, the starting card and whatnot. And this stacks. This is very good, and her ego skill is very good. It's a draw and deal damage card, and you always guarantee to draw a card that's 1 or 0 cost. That means you know the value of the card you are drawing to combo up. If it was just draw a card, then you'll be in trouble because you don't know if what the card you're going to draw is going to be a 2 cost or a 3 cost. Since you know it's going to be a 1 cost or lower, you can combo it. So I would rate Lillian a lot higher than Riktoka because of that effect, because of that draw effect on any of these tracker units. So use Lillian if you have her. Now let's go over the broken normal 5-star supports. If you have to pull on partner banner, Scarlet, otherwise known as the girl with the nooses. This girl wears nooses on her capes because she overcome depression early on. I don't know how else to describe it. Watch my video where I go over every character design. She has nooses on her cape for no reason. So I made up lore for her. This goes insanely hard with Rin because you want to play a lot of Rin cards in her stance to combo up. And Rin has a lot of 0 fucking thing. So this, pretty good. Yep. This is insanely broken on Rin. If you have to pull for partner banner, pull for Scarlet for Rin. Marion is Meilin's partner. This seems good, right? Breakthrough damage, 15%. But it's not flat attack damage value. This seems good right now. Always apply as weak point damage. 5% weakness damage. Very good. This is just damage. This is pretty bad. You know why? It does nothing. It provides no utility. Only provides damage. Now let's go over why, if you have Meilin, you pull for her dragon. This is broken. This is insane on Mei Lin on any character that can use her. Because it is HP and damage increase on top of this when a target is in its break state. This is insanely high value, especially on Mei Lin, because she has attack weakness. Mei Lin, fucking, because these are dragons. These are apparently dragons. That's the lore, apparently. So, this goes in hard, and it's easy to break units with Mei Lin. Because Mei Lin has the attack weakness, which means she's always able to attack weakness on this skill. So, that is probably the highest damage value. You'll, like, start one-shotting shit with this. Because if you max dupe, it's 16% and 50% damage dealt to break state. This is probably the highest source of damage buff from a partner in the fucking game. Because it buffs your damage and the damage dealt if you break an enemy. And it also gives you a weakness. This dragon is amazing. Especially on Mei Lin. This partner dragon is amazing. So if you have Mei Lin and you love her, get Priscilla. That concludes this. Yeah, fuck Marianne. Marianne, compared to the dragon, garbage. Like 5% weakness damage, this eagle skill, 15% breakthrough damage. Why would I want 50%? That's conditional. This buffs your health and damage. There's no conditional. This gives you damage on a break state. And this is a weakness attack. It's cheaper by 1 mana, turn 50%, and it gives utility. Marianne, you are one-minded. You only care about the damage. She is a player in every video game who is selfish, only thinks about doing damage of herself. She provides no utility to the team. Okay? She only does damage. She's that carry in League of Legends who go off in the jungle alone. You feed her all of your loot, and then she feeds the enemy. Because all she cares about damage, she doesn't help the team. She doesn't buy wards, okay? You know what Priscilla does? She buys wards. She gives you utility. She does more for you. Next category. Again, Mei Lin, you buy this. High value partner. Unless, you don't want to. I'm going to force you. So next, controller units. Now, of the controller units, they're basically mostly healers. So let's go over their standard unit and then their dragon. So, sort, controller. Sort, controller. Yes. There are a lot of controller units, so this is a very high value dragon. Spoiler alert. So, everyone knows what Mika is. Everyone knows what Ray does. They're both very good units. Everyone has these units. So, the controller partners are more high value because everyone wants to run at least one controller unit, one healer, in one of their two teams for endgame. Vaughn. Vaughn is a decent starter partner. She's one of the better starter partners. She's not that selfish. You know why? Because her ego skill goes hard. This is damage taken minus 20%. So, mid to late game, when the enemy starts doing like big 400, 600 damage hits, you can just use the ego skill. It's extremely cheap. It's a 2-cost ego point skill. And you take less damage and it heals you a little bit. You don't care about the heal. You care about the easy access to fortitude. And this heal is nothing to scoff at. Sometimes you would rather run this over the 4-star partners. Sometimes. If you have Arwen for, let's say, Ray, this is better. Arwen is better. Arwen is insane. Because based on the number of enemies with attack contentions, damage reduction reduced by 10%. Amazing. This is amazing damage reduction. I recommend Arwen all day. Every day over Alyssa. Why over Alyssa? Alyssa heals you HP. Arwen prevents you from getting shot in the first place. She makes you hurt less. Like in my tier list video, I value taking less damage over healing up the damage you've already taken. Would you rather be shot less and have a mediocre doctor patch you up, or would you rather be shot more and have a great doctor patch you up? I would rather be shot less. Okay? In a scenario, I would rather be shot less. And that's what Arwen does. It helps you take less damage. And also buffs the healing by a good amount. Damage reduction. And this, yeah, she heals you more while you're injured. You know what also helps? The damage reduction. So you don't get injured as much. I'm not gonna repeat the rant. You guys know the rant. You guys know the rant. None of you guys want to get shot unless you're a freak. Unless you're a sadomasochist. If you're a masochist, pull on Alyssa. Grab Alyssa for your partner instead of Arwen. You're going to be hurt all the time. If you want to stay hurt, get Alyssa. Now let's go over the 5-star healer partner, Noelle. This is an Aurelia partner. Great on Aurelia. But as I said, Aurelia is the type of person compared to Calliope, which just stands there, watch a mugger shank you, steal all of your prized possessions, and then goes, ooh woo, oh you hurt? Let me bandage it up and make it all better. Calliope bashes that robber in the face to ensure you don't get shot in the first place. So, this, low value. The dragon, high value. It buffs your HP and healing, so you feel less of the damage. High HP, really good. Especially after Chaos Exploration stages, where you get campfires, and you heal up a lot of your HP. More HP is good. Having a large health pool is good, so you don't get one shot. Now, also, she provides more utility than the other option. Because when the assigned combatant draws for the first time each turn using an ability, plus 8% damage dealt by allies. This scales up to 16% at max dupes. This is insane. And her ego skill, insane. You can combo this with so many fucking units in the game. Let's say Rinoa and her fucking Dirge bullets. You can draw this card up to 3 cards and draw more to unfuck your hand. Any card game player knows unfucking your hand is the key to fucking up your opponents. You unfuck your hand so you fuck up the enemy. So this, very good. Everything about her, very good. And this is an easy effect to trigger, because most of the healers have some kind of draw effect. And this buffing the damage dealt by your allies is very good. So not only does she gives you health, give you a healing increase, give you damage buff for your team, and unfuck your hand, she doesn't let you get hurt like this unit does. So yeah, very high value dragon here. Very high value dragon, and I rate her as such. On any support unit, whether it's be Ray, Mika, fucking Cassius, the dragon, great value. Whether you want to invest in her or not, it's up to you. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I am gonna break into your home if you fucking choose some of the shit dragons here, dude. If you think Iceland, okay, we're gonna go over to Vanguard. Iceland is the shittiest dragon, okay? So, next unit, Psychics. Notice how there are only 3 Psychic supports. Well, I was curious. I was like, wait a minute. This can't be right. Only 3 Psychic supports? Besides the dragon? Like, what are you talking about? Psionic. So, let's see it. Psionic. There are only 2 Psionic units in the fucking game. I didn't realize this until I was making this spreadsheet and making this video. It's just Chiron and Tresha. These are your only options. So this is going to be short. It's all going to matter, is the dragon good or not? So, this unit, garbage. Garbage 3-star unit. It just gives you a 2-cost shield. This is trash 3-star, as expected. The 4 cost, goes hard. This is probably one of the more higher value 4-star partners in the game for the 2 psionic units we have. Not only does she gives you more attack card damage, but this is very easy to trigger on the 2 psionic units we have. They both exhaust cards. They both gain status ailment cards. So this is easy. This is also easy. The trigger. Very good. Now this, the 5-star. This goes for with Chiron. This is very good. Stacks up to 3 times. Very good Chiron partner, 5-star. Let's go over the dragon. This shits on this unit for Chiron for fucking Tresha. Why? This? Yeah, 25%. Stacks up 3 times. Yeah. Sure. Exhaust. Blah, 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 blah. You don't want to pull on the partner banner. That's a scam. You want more dupes. You want more units. So if you have Chiron, get this. But even then, I don't recommend pulling this right now. This is insanely strong. Insanely strong because the ego skill is a cheap 2 cost. This is an AoE 2 cost with bone. 2 cost, 180% with bone. This is very high value ego skill. Like, going back to the shitty Marianne selfish fucking partner earlier who does 300 whatever percent single target damage. This is cheaper, does AoE and applies Vone. Cheaper, AoE, and applies Vone. What the fuck are you doing, Marianne, with all that damage? Why don't you help the team with some utility? Like Antea here. Antea knows how to help the team. You don't. You're a fucking no-brain DPS who just wanders into the jungle while fed and feed the enemy. This girl knows how to support. She buys wards. These are your wards. She inflicts Vone. She does AoE. And it's only a 2 cost. She doesn't demand much from you. Okay? However, Eloise is just too good. Eloise is just too good. Eloise to Antea might be, let's say, a 20-30% buff compared to other partners. Like other 4-star partners to your 5-star partner equivalent is a huge buff. It's like twice as good. Since Eloise is already so good, Antea just falls off the wayside. And in addition, again, there are only 2 psionic units. You would rather get a dragon for one of the other roles for now, unless you really, really love Chiron and you really, really love this dragon. Because it is better. But other dragon picks will help your other teams more. Because Chiron is already S tier. He's already very good, even without partner. You can shoot whoever he's partnered with in the brain, and he'd still be pretty good. So you're just making him S tier to S tier if you get the 5-star partner. Whereas some of the underperforming units, you get their partner, they bump up a few tiers. They buff your team. They're insanely more powerful, you know? So rather than invest in a unit that's already good and getting a better partner for them, you invest in one of the other dragons that can help one of your weaker teams succeed in life. Now let's go over the worst dragon realm, Vanguard. Vanguard has some of the best units because shielding is OP. Not that I would know on live. Not that I would know. I have pulled. I'm a sponsored content creator. And, what the fuck's a Vanguard unit? Can anyone tell me what the fuck a Vanguard unit is? It's not a mirror. It's not a mirror. Cause again, it's not a mirror for sure. Cause unlike all the other units, where the fuck are her shields? This one card, this is her shield. Where the fuck are her shield game? She buffs shields. She's good if you already have shielders on your team. But how do I use her? Oh, people in chat when I was doing the stream saying you should use her to buff your other shielder units. What shielder units? What shielder units do I have? None. I have none. I'm struggle session here. I'm struggle session. I'm suffering right now. I have no shielders. Every chaos run is pain. Every chaos run is kill or be killed for me. Killed or be killed. It's high stress value for me because I didn't hit one shooter. Just give me the Maribel. I'm not even asking for the Calliope. Just give me the Maribel. Just give me her to put her on the team so I don't take 50 stress damage every turn. I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want to get hurt. Everything hurts. Everything hurts in the game, and the healers aren't healing enough. Give me a shielder. I'm begging you. But let's go to the Vanguard partners. Not that I know from my live account. So this. Garbage. Garbage. Max HP increase, defense-based damage if in counterattack. Garbage 3-star. Of course. Now, the 4-stars that I played in CBT, they're unchanged, are very good. Wilhelmina goes very hard on Calliope because Calliope does a lot of damage, and this buffs her defense-based damage of her attack cards when you target a vulnerable enemy, and you will probably get boned from another unit on your team. And this is a higher defense value increase. And this ego skill goes harder than you think because it's a 2-cost morale and fortitude buff. It shields you and buffs your damage to your team for only 2 ego skills. So this is a very good 4-star unit. It's much better than fucking Rachel. Cause fucking Rachel, conditional. Hard conditional. Not only is it conditional, it's a percent chance. This is dog shit. This is complete dog shit. At least this girl has a conditional, but it guarantees the second effect option. When an enemy is vulnerable, you do more damage to defense-based cards. This is, if you do X, I might give you this effect. I might do it. I might not. Teehee. I might do it. This is so high maintenance. She's eating that burger because she's a selfish fast food worker. You should go back to working at, I don't want to insult McDonald's or Wendy's employees because I know people who have worked at McDonald's and Wendy's early on their careers, and it's something you would probably need to do once in your life. Most of you guys, if you're going into the workforce, don't be ashamed if you're working at McDonald's or Wendy's now, okay? Because that's just a path in your career for future life. Everyone needs to make money. Everyone needs to know the value of hard work. Never treat your fast food employees bad because it's a job. They need that job. Everyone needs a job unless you're a NAPA baby and don't work. It's better to have a job than be jobless, you know? So they're working their hardest. Respect your McDonald's, Wendy's, Sonic workers. Don't mistreat them. We've all been there, or we know people there. They're just regular people just like you and me. However, Rachel is one of those jobless fucks who thinks McDonald's and Wendy's is too beneath her, okay? She should be forced to work 24-hour shifts at your local McDonald's and see the real pain of what the average retail or fast food worker needs to work. Because having this conditional is fucking garbage. Okay? It's fucking garbage. She is so fucking selfish. She's a fucking Nepo baby who doesn't know the true value of an honest day's work. She's eating that burger, looking down on you with those fucking green eyes saying, I'm better than you. I'm rich. I never have to work a real job in my life. Daddy pays for everything. That's why she's holding back this counterattack. Why don't you just give me that counterattack? Why is it percent chance? Fucking Rachel. Rachel, why is it percent chance? Why is it counterattack? It's not that valuable. Just give us it. Just give us it. Yeah. Wilhelmina, very good. Rachel, extremely selfish partner. Extremely selfish. Now let's go over the 5-star partners. This is Calliope's best in slot partner. If you have Calliope, probably pull for this. I would recommend pulling for partner banners. This is her best in slot. This is one of the things that bumps her from S tier to Omega S tier. Unlike with Chiron's partner, with buffs him, this buffs Calliope like hundreds of times in my value. Like, this is insane. She's an insect unit, and this, insane damage. She's basically does more damage than most of the units in the game as a shielder with this partner. This partner is absolutely broken on her. Not only that, this is such a fucking cheap ego skill. And it's a draw card. It does damage and draw. This is utility for 2. Unlike Marianne, 360% attack damage for 3 ego points and does nothing else. This does damage, costs 2, and draws the highest cost card so you can combo with fucking Calliope. She knows the value of an honest day's work. She's worked at McDonald's before. She worked a shift at Wendy's. You would trust her handling your food. Seda is base. She is great. Erica, worthless. Why? Conditional. And counterattack damage, admittedly, is not that great at the current point in the game. Like, her ego skill is pretty good, but she is Magna's support, and Magna already works just fine. Magna works just fine with Wilhelmina, because you're just using her to survive. So Erica has less value, and let's talk about Iceland. Iceland, dog shit. Dog shit. Why is she dog shit, players? Why this is health and shield game. The reason why she is dog shit, you have to pair with counterattack. It's on Magna or Maribel. Because Calliope, you want to run Zeta. This is only when you get counter count. And there's only a few units which gain counter counts, meaning Magna or Calliope. And this, retain shield, is very good, but is fucking 4 ego points. For 100% shield and retain. It's not worth 4 ego points for a 50% retain. That is too much. Too much, Iceland. You are the worst dragon. This is probably the worst dragon in the game. Because Calliope is already S tier. Shielders are already strong. Why would you put this instead of just putting more Wilhelminas? More Wilhelminas will go further than this fucking useless ass dragon. Okay? But, despite being useless ass dragon, she's not a Rachel who has no idea what it's like for an average person in the workforce today. Fucking selfish partner holding back that counterattack from us. Okay? From us. She's hoarding all of the wealth in that counterattack. And she doesn't give it to you unconditionally. Okay? Unconditionally. She hates you. Anyway, that concludes the partner video. And shortly, we will go over the partner waifu tier list, which is the main reason some of you guys are here for. So, we're going to go over the partner waifu / husbando tier list now. So, dog. These goes for all. Okay, this is FBI. Okay, let's get rid of all of the fucking dog. Okay, this is FBI for sure. FBI. Okay, this is FBI. This is FBI for sure. She looks old. Let's see here. This is a dog, in my opinion. That's a dog. This is FBI. Oh, this is FBI for sure. Yeah, these are all FBI units. If you like them, I'm going to report you to the FBI. Oh, this girl too. Yeah, most of these are F tier FBI. Yeah, boom. Erica is too young. You're telling me she's fucking 18? There's no way she's 18 years old. There's no way she's 18. Brea is legal. Brea is not legal. There's no way. She's like 17 at best. She's like 17 at best. So Tina. Tina is sus. Tina is very sus in her age. Someone put her in childhood friend just to be safe. Astria is also sus. She's in childhood friend for all of the sus characters, okay? They might be underage. I don't know. So, since you guys are so insistent, Brea can be in the sus category. But Erica, I'm confident. I'm confident Erica is a child. Erica is 100% a child. So, Akkad, he's a robot. Now, is he a meta husbando? Or is he just a friend with benefits? Now, how is his robot body designed? Akkad in dog? Hold up here. The robot could do things for her. Now, his body is cold and unfeeling. And his engine, no head. You can't really make up with him. It would be really cold and annoying. Yeah, he would be just a friend. It would be too hard to sleep with, too. His hard metal body, logistically, it wouldn't work. Now, Rachel. Rachel is a selfish unit, so she's just gonna be in the friend tier. Or in the friend. Nah, she's a dog. She's a dog. The bunny, this is clearly a child bunny. But in order to make the tier list better, sure, I'll put her in dog. That is clearly a child bunny. So, Eloise. She's hot. She's a doctor, I think. And she has a phone and glasses. She's a businesswoman with a stable job. S tier. A woman with a stable job. Well-built personality? Good. Okay, Scarlet. She wears nooses on her cape. That's a red flag. She wears a cape with nooses. So she's not S tier, for sure. I don't want to marry her. She will hang me in my sleep. Friends with benefits. I'll sleep with her. That's all. Zeta. S tier. She provides a lot of utility. Her face is covered. She's an assassin. She can handle herself. That's what I like. Strong, independent woman. She's a strong, independent woman. S tier. Marianne. Very selfish. She's too edgy. She has a cape. She has a cape that's not as cool as Zeta. She's not as cool. But she has a job as an assassin, I think. Has a goggle, shows she's somewhat wealthy. She looks emotionally somewhat stable. So, A tier waifu. Rosaria. Okay. Rosaria. I think she has bodyguards on the sides. So she's connected and wealthy. She smiles. She's very upbringing. Nice clothing choice. S tier. She seems like she can do a lot for you. Janet. Insanely selfish. I would have friends who are insanely selfish. Yeah. Insanely selfish friend. Actually, friends with benefits. You wouldn't trust her to get over stuff, but you can sleep with her and she probably won't stab you in your sleep. So, Lillian. Off the bat, it's a red flag, her facial expression. She's too haughty. I think in B tier, friends with benefits. Kiara. Very serious, very sullen. I think in the Renoa trauma quest, she tried to kill some scientists who were abusing children, so that bumps her up a tier for me. She's against child abuse. S tier. She's willing to do what's needed to be done. She's willing to kill for you. We established this. Wilhelmina. She is a church official, high value politician, well connected. A tier. Because marrying her would be a hassle to be put her in S tier because she's very important and public facing. So you're going to be under public scrutiny. Yvonne. Well, she's a nun, so straight into B tier. You can't keep your relationship, you can't marry her because she's married to her religion. Yeah, that is the waifu tier list.